Welcome to today's episode of Quest for Cookies. Today, we'll be discussing Fallout 4 and the intricacies of the game. Let's get into it. Imagine this. You and your wife have spent the last few years of your life dedicated to education and serving your country. You, a retired member of the U.S. Army, and your wife, a lawyer, both from the Boston area, have finally worked towards getting your house to look more like a home, and you welcome your son Sean to spend the rest of his life surrounded by loved ones and high tech to support him along the way. Until your peaceful afternoon is interrupted by air raid sirens and chaos as the three of you make your way to a vault to hide out the nuclear fallout. In the nick of time, you make it and descend further and further into the earth until you're faced with a decompression chamber that will prepare your body for a further descent. Instead, you're put in cryogenic stasis where you witness your wife's murder and the kidnapping of your son, helpless and trapped inside your pod. Waking up years later, you only know one thing. Your son is missing and you must find him. Here are some of the best and worst parts of the game. Getting into gameplay, there are so many aspects to love. This game is practically 20 in 1. From in-game computer games to settlement building, all the way to destroying or joining coalitions, this game has it all. Some tools like the Pip-Boy are truly a lifesaver with its ability to freeze time when scrolling through, using stimpaks or changing the radio station, and fast travel truly saved me hours of wandering the Wasteland. Companions are effectively storage containers and obstacles when used in battle, but serve as great gameplay enhancers when your relationships are maxed out. On a grand scale, this game has a lot to offer. The problems come on a closer look. For one, the Sanctuary, your pre-war home and Wasteland refuge, can only be rebuilt so much. There's many mods to improve living conditions in this cornerstone settlement, but for achievement-oriented players, this is a no-go. Other issues with settlements is the finicky item placement. There's no grid to place furniture, and a player pretty much has to guess if their couch is against the wall or not. If you were intrigued in the idea of building your own vault in the expansion DLC, don't get too excited. I've rebuilt the vault on different saves and run into problems with each one. Firstly, your settler's AI is finicky at best and non-functional at worst. The vault also has a size limit which is very limiting. Most of my vaults are barren because after building a grand structure, there's not enough size to furnish it. On top of that, there's way more space in the vault construction area than can ever be built on, leaving gaps in other sectors. Another issue with the game I've found is that I get trapped. Not often, but often enough, which effectively soft locks the game. Make sure to save often to avoid the disappointment that arises when you complete part of a mission and fall between stairs and a wall and have to reload. There are a million small details that I would change given the opportunity to do so, but there's so much more to love. Missions help the game keep going and offer interesting choices for the game's result. A quick message for completionists. It's impossible to get all magazines after completing the game most of the time. My first save aligned with a certain faction and resulted in me never having the opportunity to enter a safe house where the last magazine that I needed was, leaving me soft-locked and quitting the game for months. And this is what I've done with the game. I have already had 5 or more saves of this game with different characters and differing levels. Just recently, I started the game back up after a short lull and started from ground zero. That's the thing about this game. If you get bored, start over and do a completely different build. Some creations I can share without giving too much away about the game are my power armor. I've modded it with jetpacks and Tesla coils that harm any attackers nearby. Over my various saves, I've gathered some weapons that I think are the best of the game. Old Reliable, Overseer's Guardian, and Big Jim are staples. Old Reliable is sold in Acadia's basement, the Overseer's Guardian is sold in Vault 81, and Big Jim is at Walden Pond's gift shop. Enter through the drainage pipe and fight your way to the final room, where it is found on a metal set of drawers. For settlements, I haven't done much, but Hangman's Alley, Spectacle Island, and Ten Pines Bluff offer different challenges and scenery that result in nice bases. When it comes to skills, a few staples are Locksmith, Hacker, Armorer, Gun Nut, and the Science Perk. I also enjoy Idiot Savant, Medic, and Strongback. This section is going to be filled with some spoilers, so please avoid this if you're looking to play the game in the future. My favorite place to explore in Fallout 4 was Vault 75. I really enjoyed uncovering this vault's mystery and what went down. It's clear that every vault is extremely unethical and just downright evil. My favorite mission was Brain Dead as part of Far Harbor. The different personalities were super interesting to see unfold, and I loved seeing the artists responsible for so much in-game art. Definitely worth working through the mystery and finding out who the killer is. My first playthrough, I aligned with the Institute. I really love how modern it looked inside, and the music that played when you were inside sealed the deal for me. One downside is the loading screens to get into each section. It really is a pain, but having my own Institute room was really exciting to me. In that playthrough, I managed to stay uninformed by the media and learned on my own what the truth was about Sean. I was shocked. My second playthrough, I aligned with the Brotherhood, which left me disappointed. I loved having access to the Institute in my other playthrough, and with the crater left behind by the bomb used to destroy it, I was left bored and uninterested. Though, my second favorite twist was finding out that Dance was a synth. Totally unexpected to me. I was blinded by his innocence, I guess, and I love the juxtaposition of him becoming something he has tried to destroy and something he's so passionate about. For my third playthrough, I aligned with the Railroad, which left me the most disappointed. Destroying both the Institute and the Brotherhood left me alone in the Wasteland without any interesting buildings to visit. I have not played through as the Minutemen, but it leads to destroying the least factions, only the Institute, so something to consider in the playthrough I'm doing right now. That's all I'll be discussing today. So thank you for listening, and please leave a comment if you have any suggestions or any thoughts about today's episode. I'll see you in the next one.